Hey, Mumtaz, I have a question.
Hi, Dean.
Actually, before I ask my question, let everyone know a little bit about you.
Thank you, Dean. Thank you very much for having me on the show. So I'm Mumtaz. I'm a UK-based global growth marketer, specializing in digital marketing. And in essence, I basically help you drive more money online if you're a B2C retailer at the
Okay,
most efficient cost.
so a lot of e-com.
Yeah,
Gotcha. All right. So then, what are the, especially among your clients, like what are the biggest shifts you're seeing in marketing strategies right now? In 2025.
yeah. So I'm actually seeing a lot of push from the B2B side to approach
Hmm.
their customers more in a B2C way as well.
Right.
So yeah, that's a really interesting shift, and I'm even seeing this starting to happen in the affiliate space, which is my core specialism as well. So yeah, I think B2B is going through a bit of an evolution.
Hmm. Okay. So, not a surprise. The economy's sort of like been up and down and sideways for the last several years, right? Lots been
Correct.
going. Um, like, how do you see sort of the economy influencing marketing strategies or priorities right now? Like, what are companies telling you?
Yeah, absolutely. So definitely seeing, I'm a fractional CMO, fractional
Hmm.
definitely seeing, because of the economy, the uncertainty, especially there's been an explosion of consulting opportunities because people don't want to hire full-time equivalents at
Right.
the moment. So definitely seeing that. And then I would say that if you look back to the last recession, or whatever you want to call it, performance marketing had a boost then, specifically affiliate marketing. And I think we're going to see the same now as well, where people will move to performance marketing strategies.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Brand
Even in
marketing
B2B.
is great, but when you need to prove you're driving money,
Right.
yeah,
So I'm curious about the
yeah,
B2B side.
you have to prove that you're
Right.
making that money to the bottom line.
Right. All right. That makes sense.
Because especially
Uh,
if you're in a
um,
VC back, sorry,
I'm just waiting for
go
your
ahead, Dean.
connection to even out again. Your connection's coming apart. Oh, wait. Sorry. It put me back on top. There we go. Oh, okay. So let me ask about this then. Especially, you talked about B2B taking on or approaching the e-com kind of approach, right? Um, like, are there any, like, if you're advising a B2B company today, like what are the channels or platforms that you think are going to be critical for them?
Sure. So obviously LinkedIn is still a mainstay, but I would actually say they need to be looking at B2B creators and influencers as well. And each company is different. So it's a case of finding those people or finding those publications that are relevant to your business and creating partnerships with them, and also an event strategy as well. Event strategy around what are the relevant events for your company, and executing on that. And making sure you have a very sort of strong and robust like sales funnel, your CRM's up to date. So your sales team can then jump on those leads and try and get them qualified and convert them.
Right. Okay. So, I mean, your clients are finding you, you're finding clients, right? What do you think challenges companies are facing right now as they try to like find marketing talent? Like there are a lot of, there are a lot of marketing people looking for work right now, but what are the challenges that the companies are having in like finding either, fractional CMOs or all kinds of marketing talent?
Yeah, it's I'm pleased you asked the question, because over here in the UK, I was at an event yesterday. I was talking to a contact of mine, and he was saying, well, his wife's a recruiter, and he was
Hmm.
saying she gets ghosted by candidates. So there's a
Wow.
challenge where
Oh.
normally you hear about candidates being ghosted, but it's actually happening the other way around as well.
Hmm.
So I think that is a challenge where um, I don't know if it's just general loss of respect or something. Who knows? But common courtesy. Uh, but yeah, I would say that's one challenge. I think the other thing is companies have to consider they can't sort of like get something not on the cheap. You can't have your cake and eat it. At least over here, companies um, try and find C-level people
Right.
or heads off who can or are willing to do day-to-day tasks as well that you'd expect a junior marketeer to do. And that's a really like difficult thing to find. You can't find a expert generalist like that. That's insane to expect to be able to find someone who can be hands-on in Meta as well as do marketing strategy for a board presentation. That's just
Right.
insane.
Expert generalist. That's a good term. I like that.
Mm.
Uh, so, I mean, over the course of a year, you're and several years, you're talking to and working with like several different like types of companies and industries. Like, what's at least in your market, right, among your client set, like what industries or types of companies are growing right now, and which ones are having more of a struggle with that?
Yeah, so again, very much UK based.
Mhm.
What we're seeing,
Ah,
still seeing budgets coming to B2B. We're also seeing the education sector, ed tech and health tech, still
mhm.
getting lots of money, still growing sector. A little bit of prop tech as well, getting money as well, but definitely, things like classic B2C, like apparel, beauty, homeware. A lot of these businesses are being hit by you know things not selling as well, or investors pushing for quick returns. And we're seeing a lot of companies have to file, you know uh, maybe not for bankruptcy just yet, but having to lay off a load of staff and really start to work on a smaller and smaller budgets, which is a real shame.
Yeah.
But that, and I think this is also there's a global trigger for this as well, because you're basically competing against the likes of the big fast fast fashion, fast um, fast moving goods like Temu
Hmm.
from Asia. How do you compete with that? How do you compete with Amazon as well, which has got its business format, down to a T, being able to offer good prices, and margins are good, and all the rest of it. So it does impact both enterprise and small to medium sized businesses in the classic arena.
Do you think there's anything when you're talking to
And also
your
AI.
client? No, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say a lot of these AI firms are also getting budget cuts, I guess.
Right. Do you think there's any problems or threats that when you're talking to prospective clients, do you think there's any problems or threats in the marketing arena that are sort of underrated or overlooked right now?
Um,
Is there something they should be
hmm.
paying more attention to that they don't usually pay attention to until you mention it to them?
There's still a lot of siloed thinking.
Yeah.
I was I went yesterday. Um, I was listening to a panel, and one of the chaps on the panel basically mentioned his advice, or what he's found works. He said for his company, he doesn't stray into social or any other channels. He's found that Google is his best revenue driver, and he's going to
Mm-hmm.
stick to that. And his advice was to keep it. I admire his simplicity. However, unless you continuously, monitoring and looking into regular basis emerging trends and emerging channels, you could be missing out on a huge opportunity.
Yeah.
And the interesting thing is, I literally, after listening to his talk, I had to pop out for a meeting with a contact of mine who works in the programmatic space, and I mentioned this to her, and she said, this is like really blinkered thinking. She said to me, so many clients and retailers think, oh, everyone knows my brand, they just go to Google, type it in, and we get the sale. How do they know about your brand in the first
Mm-hmm.
place? Unless you're a top Fortune 100, whatever, blue chip company. How do they know about your brand in the first place? They probably have either seen something on Insta, or my friend was saying she's a big YouTube fan. So she was saying a lot of people discover brands through YouTube, whether it's through user generated
Yeah.
content or through the brand's own videos. And YouTube is actually part of Google as well. So this gentleman who was talking about, oh, Google search is my main thing. Actually, what he should be doing is making sure he doesn't lose the customers of tomorrow potentially
Right.
by not advertising on YouTube.
So I have two sort of fill in the blank questions before we finish up.
Mm-hmm.
So I get the easy part. I get to ask the part before the blank, and then you have to fill in the blank.
Okay.
So here's question number one. Many clients just don't understand what?
Okay. Many clients, sorry, I just pull my laptop down because of the glare.
Mm.
um, Many clients just don't understand that marketing is not just a money drain, it can actually make you money as well. So
Mm-hmm.
when companies are doing restructures, classic, or get rid of the marketing team, they're not sales. So I think clients understand, so all it is, need to get better at proving our value and our worth as well. So we also have to take some responsibility here for why marketers are the first to go when a company is going through difficulties.
Right. Makes sense. All right. And then my last one is specifically around fractional CMOs, right? And here's the question. You fill in the blank. A fractional CMO starting out today, brand new, would be surprised about.
Oh, you mean never been a
Yesterday,
fractional
they
before?
became a fractional CMO. What's about to smack him in the face?
Time management.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's completely time management. You need to be so good with your time and so efficient, because typically when you're fractional, you're juggling more than one project, more than one client,
Right.
and you have to keep everyone happy. You don't have the luxury, you're not an employee. You don't have the
Right.
luxury of being like, hey, I'll get back to you. Uh, I'll share this with you in the management meeting later this week. You have to deliver it to them ASAP. I mean, I have clients. I had one of my clients email me today and said, I'm confused about this email from this supplier. Do you have time to jump on a call like in 1 hour? I emailed him. He didn't see my email straight away. He then sent me a meeting invite for literally 4 minutes time, which I was able to make. It was fine, but you just have to be style, and you have
Yeah.
to really don't assume anything. Don't assume they understand everything. You always have to be proving your worth. I would actually say, as a fractional, you have to do you have to prove your worth more than an employee, I would say.
So, by the way, thanks for despite like the difficulties and timing, and I really appreciate you being here. And
No
uh,
problem.
these have been great answers. Like these are going in the archive kind of answers. I love them.
Thank you.
Who should be reaching out to you these days, and how should they do it?
Yeah, probably the easiest thing is go to my LinkedIn profile. My cell and my email is all listed there. And you can also then find out a bit of stuff about me.
Right.
Probably the sort of people that should be reaching out to me are founders who need help with scaling up their company. So anyone at a scale up stage who want to accelerate their sales. And then on the other side, I also do help more from a coaching forward slash, operational standpoint. Founders who just need help
Right.
streamlining their business, figuring out like the roadmap, and more from an operational aspect as well.
This has been fantastic.
Thank
I
you,
know it's
Dean.
a bit later where you are, so thanks very much for that.
Thank
And
you.
thanks for watching, folks. And we'll see you in the next episode. Bye, Mumtaz. Adios.
Thank you. Bye.